I suppose you look a bit like a hypocrite, really, don't you, given the attacks that Labour MPs have had on National MPs over the years for their brain fade?
Well, I mean, on this, I have to say that when you do make a mistake and you overlook that sort of thing, the big thing is to come out and be honest about it and be straight up. I mean, and if other MPs on the other side of the House are going to do that as well, we give them a pretty light run. But if they try and fudge it and say that it's not true, and we find it is, then they deserve everything they get. Frankly,
are you embarrassed by this?
Yeah, of course. Look, this is not, standing in front of a bunch of cameras, Duncan, and explaining why you didn't, declare your pecuniary interest. It's, it's not too pleasant, as I'm sure you, as you know, you were on the other side of the cameras. You've done it to many people in the past. Look, it's not something that I took lightly, and it's, one of those things that you'd rather you didn't have to go through.
Why have you got this account?
Well, I was working for the UN for many years before I came into politics. This was simply where my salary went. It's a bank in the UN. It's actually the branch that I belong to is in the UN building, on the third floor of the UN building. And my salary went in there. And
but you haven't been there for a number of years.
No, but I mean, I was working in Iraq. You can't get it paid into a bank account in Iraq. So
no, but why do you still have the account now, though?
Oh, look, there's no real reason. We came back to New Zealand. We focused on other stuff. Obviously what I'm doing at the moment, and we left it there. It's just one of those things we thought, well, it's some savings that we had, and we'll leave it where it is.
Are there still payments from the UN going in terms of super payments?
No. Once you leave the UN, I mean, that's pretty much it. So it hasn't been touched for a long time.
How much is in the account?
Oh, look, Duncan, that's really between my family and myself, but it does meet the threshold, and that's why I should have declared it.
Does it well and truly meet the threshold? Because the threshold is $50,000. Are you embarrassed to say how much you've got in there?
No, look, I'm not. I just think, as an MP, you have to declare absolutely all of your finances and everything, and I think, to be quite honest with you, I mean, you do put yourself out there, and I accept that, but there is a sort of a limit on how far you want to go on that.
More than $100,000 in there?
Oh, look.
Must be. There must be if you're not denying that.
What's that?
There must be more than $100,000 if you can't say.
No, I'm not saying, because I said to my wife, and my wife said to me actually, it's more than it meets the threshold, as I say, and she said, look, this is family business, and I think it is family business.
Well, just cash it in and bring it home to New Zealand. Put it into Kiwibank as a sort of putting New Zealand first. Well,
look, we could have done that. Obviously, we've got got bank accounts here in New Zealand as well. I mean,
but you're arguing for New Zealand-led investments and New Zealand assets and keeping things in New Zealand hands. You got money tied up overseas. It could be helping New Zealand businesses here as an investment.
Well, that's true. Obviously I belong to Kiwi Sabre and everything here in New Zealand too. But, look, it's just one of those things that I left there.
There must be a bit in there because you were paid handsomely to do a very dangerous job.
Well, we did. I have to say, I mean, my last job was in Iraq. I mean, I was running a $2 billion operation, and when you are in Iraq, you do get additional money for for danger money and that sort of thing. What they call it, hazard allowance. So look, I'm not saying that I wasn't well paid, but it's just one of those things. It was where my salary went. That's all there is to it.
Are you uncomfortably wealthy, Mr. Shearer, as the leader of the Labour Party? Is that what you're telling me?
No, look, I think when I look around the house, Duncan, and I look right opposite me, there's somebody that's a whole lot more wealthy than I am. Look, I've never said anything other than we're lucky we're comfortably off, and there's a lot of people that certainly aren't as well off as we are. But on the other hand, when I look across the house at my opposite number, I'm nowhere near in that ballpark.
Hey, why don't we do it this way? I'll make my final question: 5 figures in there or 6 figures?
No, look, I'm sorry, I'm not going to say anything more than that, because I did make a sort of a promise to my wife that there will be some things that stay.
Would it be embarrassing if we knew how? Would it be embarrassing if it became public how much you had on that bank?
Oh, look, I'm not even going to say that, Duncan. Really, honestly, it's as I say, it met the threshold. no MP is required to say anything more than that, and that's quite enough, frankly.
Yeah, but I still can't work out for years that your party was banging on about other parties not putting, other MPs not putting their certain bank accounts and different directorships and things in these pecuniary interest register. You knew you had a pile of money in America, and it didn't simply register to you that, hey, I better put this in the register?
Look, the bottom line is that I overlooked it, Duncan, and that's why I've come out with it now. I mean, nobody pushed me into it or anything like that. I realised I'd made an error. I stepped up to correct it straight away. As I say, it's money that I was paid. There's no conflict of interest with anything else or anybody else. I don't have a company that's running, some sort of business that might put me in conflict with what I'm doing and what I'm saying.
Now, when you say you stepped up straight away, to be fair, it took a number of years to step up.
Well, as soon as I realised the error, obviously I couldn't have done it before I'd realised that, but as soon as I did do that, I thought, oh my God, this is one of those things where you have to sort of swallow hard and go and face the music.
All right. Oh, good on you, David. I certainly appreciate your time this afternoon.